Several health districts in our region are telling us winter storms all across the country are leading to shipping delays of the COVID-19 vaccine, which is slowing down the rollout. The Malheur County Health Department in Oregon has no choice but to cancel a vaccine clinic scheduled for tomorrow. Katia Stepovic brings us the roundup of yet another blow to the vaccine rollout.
The Idaho Department of Health and Welfare says that Moderna did not ship out any vaccine on Monday or Tuesday, and that Pfizer only shipped out a very limited amount. Now, the impact of these delays is being seen across the region.
The weather has impacted us here, but also across the country has created some shipping delays.
Every Thursday, the Malheur County Health Department hosts a COVID-19 vaccine clinic.
We were expecting a lot, so this was going to be our biggest shipment with 500 Moderna doses.
But this week, Sarah Poe, director at the health department, says that just wasn't a possibility.
That the CDC told the Oregon Health Authority today that no Moderna doses were flying out of Memphis, Tennessee, that were coming to Oregon.
And the shipping delays aren't just affecting them. Central District Health is experiencing delays in shipments of vaccine, along with South Central, Southeastern, and Southwest Public Health districts. Because of the delay, Southeastern Idaho Public Health says it must cancel appointments that were scheduled at the Sports and Orthopedic Center on the ISU campus for February 18th and 19th. South Central Public Health also says weather is delaying its shipments and that it's informed some providers to cancel or reschedule appointments. They add no word yet on when the next shipment will come in, but the longer it takes, the more impact it will have on our region. Although the arrival of the next shipments heavily depends on weather, Poe is confident that this won't have a major impact to the vaccine rollout.
It's not going to set us back too far. I think that everybody really wants more doses than they have allocated right now. We have the capacity to vaccinate a lot more people than what we're receiving right now. But honestly, I think that Malheur County is one of the easier places to get a vaccine in our nation right now.
Poe went on to say that the clinic originally scheduled for tomorrow was only for people getting their very first dose of vaccine. She says the shipment delay will not have an impact on people who still need their second dose. In Boise, Katia Stepovic, Idaho's News, Channel 7.